Hi guys, this is Frankie for the Pixel Slayers, and today I have an unboxing / quick review of the Horipad for the Nintendo Switch. One of my friends was complaining about having to use this thing to play Smash, and I don't blame them. And I kind of realized, well, I should probably get some more controllers, and you know how much a wireless controller for the Switch costs. It's outrageous, like $70, $60 if you're lucky. For name brand licensed controllers. This is a licensed controller made by a very prominent third-party Hori. They make a lot of good products. We reviewed one of their products for the PlayStation 4 in the past. So you can buy this knowing that it's going to be good quality. Now, is it worth the $15? That's kind of a obvious point. It's $15. I'm pretty sure it is, but let's see what we're getting ourselves into. So first, I'm going to open it. By the way, I got this cheaper because this was an open box product, but it's new. It's just a little cheaper than normal. I think I got this for like $12 versus buying it for full price. I saved a couple dollars. Just trying to get this box open. So you open up the box, and this is what you're greeted with. You got a caution note. You got a very Japanese instruction manual. It actually opens up in the Japanese style. It opens up from this side, which is kind of funny. It just tells you all about the controller and the controller itself. Let's get that out of the way. So it looks like they give you a pretty generous cable. You get about 10-foot cable, which is really nice. Seems to be the new standard. And yeah, the controller, honestly, I'm getting Xbox 360 vibes. Let's see here. Definitely remnants of the Xbox 360 controller. Even feels like it. One thing that I'll tell you right off the bat is these are digital buttons up here, and they're more clicky than the ones you see on the Nintendo's Pro controller. That might bother some, but eh. It has these 4 buttons, but then on the back, it has this removable D-pad. Just push up on this, and you just basically stick this right here, and it turns into a regular D-pad. So that's pretty nifty, and honestly, it feels like a D-pad. It feels really good, actually. I would not be afraid to play fighters with this. Your joysticks click in like they're supposed to. I don't believe this has rumble, but once again, it's like $15 to $20. It feels really good. Honestly, if you didn't tell me, I would think this was actually made by Nintendo. The plastic's very strong, and it feels like a Nintendo product. We had another one we used to test with, and I gotta say, it feels very good in the hands, but it does not have rumble, and it also doesn't have like any other features, no built-in, mics or anything like that. No place to plug in anything. It's pretty basic as you can be, but overall, it feels very similar to the Nintendo Pro Controller. As far as a comparison to the Nintendo Pro Controller, the Pro Controller, I like the layout better of. D-pad's obviously better. I like how it's wider. Like, this is more like concaved, Xbox 360 style, and this one's more like PlayStation 4 style where you just hold it. And I really prefer this design, but once again, this is very expensive. The plastics honestly feel identical, and I would argue that these D-pads, I actually kind of like them better. I always prefer the divots over these little ridges. Yeah, I have no problems with this controller. I think this would last a very long time. Pretty nice. Yeah, $15. Like, I have nothing negative to say about it. Like, the only thing I can say negatively about it is it's wired and it doesn't have rumble. But once again, it's a cheap Horipad. It's basically the equivalent of the Horipad for the PlayStation 4, except this one's made for everybody, not just little hands. But I could see how this would be easier for little hands to play because the way it's concave, you can grip it higher. So if you have smaller hands, this is definitely going to be a benefit to you over this controller. Yeah, nothing at all negative to say. Nice 10-foot cable, very nice construction, nice plastics, a removable D-pad if you want to use those buttons. I don't know why you would ever remove this. Good layout, everything's in good grip, and if you've held a 360 controller, you pretty much know what this feels like. Very nice controller, and highly recommend it at the low price. I would try to get it cheap as possible. I almost would say try to find it like I did, open box, maybe get it for $10, you know, maybe look on Amazon for like a warehouse deal or a lightly used one, because you can get a much better deal. And you know, you're not gonna feel bad spending $12 for this. You may feel bad spending over 20. I would not spend a dime over 20. I would stick to like as close to 10 as you can get. But for a third-party controller that, you know, is licensed, this is pretty much top-notch. So a higher quality than you see from the PowerA controllers, definitely. So yeah, cheapest way to go about getting another spare controller. Your friends no longer are stuck with using this for Smash Brothers. And yeah, highly recommend this. Get it as cheap as possible though. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it insightful and helpful, and I hope you keep watching. So stay tuned for more of our great content. Thank you. Bye.